So we're past the bridge and we're moving down to where our parking space is going to be. You can hear the seabirds. Okay, it's about 7:15, day 63 of the cruise, and we're in our parking spot. We'll be here till tomorrow night. I believe sail away is 5:30. That's the Sky Tower where Bob and I are going to go have lunch today. The top revolves, so we have guaranteed window seats, so that should be really nice. And then tonight we're going to the opera. I did miss getting the opera house on the sail-in, unfortunately, but I'll see it in person soon enough. And as we come across, that's the Anzac Bridge and just some of the industrial part of the port. So here we are in Sydney. So here we are at the Opera House. That's the Zaandam, which is the sister ship to the Volendam, the ship that we're on. There's the Harbor Bridge going across. That's across the bridge is where I took my opening this morning. And the iconic Sydney Opera House. So Bob and I started the morning by going to the Opera House to pick up our tickets and take some daytime shots. We did go to the opera that night, and unfortunately I don't have any pictures. It was raining, and I didn't get any good shots from inside. But anyways, after we picked up our tickets, we walked through the Royal Gardens, and here's just some random shots from around the gardens. It was a really nice walk. Okay, so we started over in the Botanical Gardens, and then we stopped and had, Bob had water, I had a really delicious mango peach iced tea. And now we're passing the State Library of New South Wales, which is the area here, celebrating their 200th anniversary. Just love the building, but we're gonna keep walking down to St. James Cathedral. This is a sailor, and he infamously had a cat on board, so when they did his statue, they included his cat. This is a statue that raises money for the Children's Hospital. And then we walked over to a park, and I went to St. Mary's Cathedral, which was just beautiful inside. I really had a nice time walking around and looking at the stained glass windows, and it was a beautiful cathedral. So we just had a really nice day walking around, waiting for our lunch time to start. This is right by the Sky Tower. So after the St. Mary's Cathedral, we walked over to the Sky Tower. Here's our view from the restaurant. It's a rotating restaurant, so the view is going to keep rotating. So anyways, I'll show you some of our plates of food. Okay, we've turned a little bit more now. We're looking more into central downtown Sydney. Still don't see our ship. Good morning, welcome to day 64 of the cruise. Second day in Sydney, and then we head back out to sea. We're doing a city tour today with a driver, just to take us around, hoping the weather holds off for us. You can see the clouds there, and it's clear over there, but I'm not sure which way they're moving, so I think towards us, the clouds. But anyway, get a chance to see a little bit more of Sydney before we head out. So today we hired a driver and he drove us around the city, showed us some highlights, had some really good fish and chips and some really good viewpoints. So here we are at Mrs. McGrudy's chair, which is like, I guess, the first governor, and this is where she would like to come and sit and just watch the day go by. So there's the Sydney Opera House, the Harbor Bridge, that's the northern city, and the house right there is where Queen Elizabeth would stay when she would come. So anyways, there's a lower section. Somebody just got married down there, taking some beautiful pictures. And so anyways, just a beautiful shot. So this is Doyle's Pub, where we had the fish and chips, and they were really good. Some of the best ones that we had on the trip so far. And we had a really cute view of this little inlet with some boats and houses around. It was a really pretty spot. After here, we went to Bondi Beach and walked around there. It was really windy, but it was a cute little spot. I can see where during the summertime this would be a really popular place for people to come and hang out. And I guess it's pretty famous now for a TV series that they do on the lifeguards that work there. It's a reality show about them having to rescue all the stupid tourists in the swift currents. Well, it's been raining off and on for the last little bit. Right now it's going on, I think, about 6:30, and our tugboat is getting ready to hook on so that we can get pulled out through the bay. There was a Royal Caribbean huge ship a little bit further closer to the Harbor Bridge than us, and it had to leave first because they only allow one cruise ship going out through the harbor at a time. So we're just getting these guys hooked up to us, and we'll be saying goodbye to Sydney, and it's giving us a little bit of sunshine before we head out. There's the other one, he's hooking up to the back. So we have one ship in the front and one in the back to move us around, because we actually backed into this parking space. And so anyways, a little bit of sun came out to say goodbye to Sydney, Australia. Unfortunately, it looks like it may be raining in our next 3 port stops, but hopefully not. And some last beautiful shots of Sydney. It really was a nice visit here. We really enjoyed ourselves. The opera, it was interesting. It wasn't quite what I was expecting, but it was nice to be there in such an iconic setting. And the music was beautiful. Good morning. It's day 64 of the cruise, and we've left Sydney and we're heading up the Australian coast. Hopefully the rain will stay away. But anyways, we have today and tomorrow at sea. The sky looks pretty. Good morning. This day is 66. It's our second day at sea before we get to Townsville, Australia. Between today and tomorrow, we hit the halfway point on our cruise. So finally the weather looks like it's mostly behind us. The seas have smoothed out. It was pretty rough yesterday and last night, but hopefully it'll stay nice like this for our short excursions over the next 2 days. But one more sea day. Good morning. Here we are on day 67 of the cruise, and we're pulling into Townsville, Australia. It's a little bit cloudy this morning. It's warm, but it's humid. So this is the bay that we're in. There's a boat there. Just kind of slowly pulling into port. We're going to a sanctuary today to see some koala bears and wombats and what have you, Australian animals. So here we are at the Billabong sanctuary. This was a little park, and we walked around with a guide. The highlight, of course, was the koala bears and the huge crocodile. All the little turtle heads. They think I'm going to feed them. They're pretty. They have really interesting looking birds here in Australia. They are some of the most unique looking birds I've ever seen. This is the koala enclosure. I think there was 5 different koala bears here. And instead of giving you guys a half an hour of koala bear pictures, here's just a few of the highlights. They were adorable. They just sat up in the thing, let us all take their pictures. You can't hold them. They're worried about diseases and such. But yeah, the koala bears were just absolutely adorable. And it was fun to be able to get up close and personal with them. The next thing they took us to was the crocodile show. And I will tell you, as I was saying, I'll tell you, when the crocodiles snapped their snouts, it was really loud.
Now, another prominent feature that these guys utilise, and it's a sixth sense. Wally would be easily laying down over 2 tonnes per square centimetre or per foot. Now that bite force is sustained while his jaws are closed, so he's not going to let up. He's going to take that from me. And he's going to keep that jaws clamped, those teeth, they're going to... And that's because of that ability of them being ectothermic and also them being really effective at preserving the energy from their food. Now, the tail is a powerhouse of that crocodile, around half the length of their entire body, about a third of their weight. They can swim their entire body length through that water in a second.
On the way back onto the ship, I got a nice iced coffee, and it was delicious. Probably one of the best iced coffees so far, and a beautiful sunset. Good morning. Welcome to day 68 of the cruise. We are pulling into Cairns, Australia, and hopefully the weather will stay like this. We're taking a train ride up the mountain, and then it's a cable car ride back down. So hopefully the weather will hold out for us. It may start to rain just after noon. But anyways, here we are getting ready to dock here in our 3rd city in Australia. So here we are waiting to board the train. Unfortunately, the train was delayed over an hour and a half, so we had a long wait to get onto the train, but it was worth it. It was a really cool ride up the mountain, a lot of switchbacks and tunnels to go through, and the waterfalls. So it was a very pretty view. I was happy to get, once we got on the train. The one thing is we were trying to outrun a storm that was coming in, and when we got off the train, when we came down on the sky rail, the rains came almost immediately after that. So it ended up being perfect timing. The train goes by quite a few waterfalls, and when we get up to there, there's a village with some little shops. Bob stopped and had fish and chips, and I went and did a little bit of shopping, and then we hopped on the sky rail to come back down. There's 3 interchange sections as you're coming down the sky rail, so it takes a little bit of time to come back down, but the views were just spectacular. So this is the first stop on the tramway, and it's called Barron Falls. I just wanted you to hear that rush of water, and then it goes all the way down there. Good morning. It's day 69 of the cruise. It's a sea day. We have 3 sea days in a row, and we're kind of around where the Great Barrier Reef is. It's about 82 degrees right now. It's a little humid, but not too bad. So, watercolor class today. Good evening. It's about 6:30 at night, and we're going through the Torres Strait. We're close to the Great Barrier Reef, and just wanted to show some of the islands that are close to us. We're going through some pretty shallow water. He said at 5 o'clock this morning we'll go through the Strait of Torres, the shallowest part that will go under, and I think he said it was only about 9 feet deep of water below us. So anyways, you can tell it's a little bit more shallow over in that section there. It's very cool. There's a nice breeze blowing, and the humidity's broken, so it's a very lovely evening. Good morning. Welcome to day 70 of the cruise. We are sailing through the Torres Strait today. We're at sea again tomorrow, and then we'll be at Darwin, our last stop in Australia, on Sunday. So a couple of talks going to today, and going to get my hair cut this afternoon. So yesterday I had my watercolor class, and I'll have it again tomorrow. It's every other sea day for watercoloring. So anyways, hopefully the weather will stay like this. It's pretty nice right now, just a little bit windy. There's a peephole into heaven. Hello. So it's about 5 minutes to 1 in the afternoon. I just wanted to show, I don't know how well it's coming across, but it's like a monsoon out here. This is their monsoon season, so hopefully the rain will stop before we have to go ashore tomorrow, and that we don't have this rain in Komodo Island and in Bali. We went and had a brunch in the main dining room today, and I have my watercoloring class later on, so definitely not a pool day, but it's coming down. Good morning. It's day 72 of the cruise, and we are pulling into Darwin, which is at the top of Australia. And Bob and I will just be going out and walking around, maybe going to the World War II tunnels. So hopefully it'll be a good day. So Bob and I just got up and got off at Darwin, walked through some of the shops, and one of the highlights that I wanted to go to is a little cafe called Meow Waffles. And one of their signature items is paw-shaped waffles. We got one stuffed with cheese. This is the salt bread, which is a Japanese specialty, very good. And then we had souffle pancakes, delicious. Hello, this is our souffle pancake. It's so jiggly, but we got the creme brulee one, and it's got a berry compote on the side. So that's what it looks like, a souffle pancake. We continued to walk around, just did a little bit of shopping. The murals were so pretty all around the town. And that was it. Then back to the ship, off to Asia next.